Hello everyone, do something different today. I want to show you how I make videos and what equipment I use. I think I did this near the beginning of starting doing videos, but I have changed my equipment, did a few things differently. So I want to show you that. This is my main camera. It is a GoPro 7 Black. Now I did start with a GoPro 7 White. That's what's being used to record this. And you'll see the difference when I switch this camera as being the main camera in this video and show you the 7 White. The difference, by the way, is each model gets a higher number. So right now I'm using GoPro 7 Black and 7 White. I think they're up to like number 11 or number 12. Now I don't know if this is still the case, but they have 3 models of each number: black, silver, white. Black is the highest model of each series and allows you more customization, changing more settings and that kind of thing. The white is the lowest level, and you have less ability to change, less settings are available and that sort of thing. I used to remember there were like 3 things that were a main difference, and one of them I don't like. In the 7 White, I could change the zoom right while I was recording. I could zoom in and out while recording with the 7 White, but I cannot do that with the 7 Black. I do most of my zooming thus through editing software. There was a couple other things. One is, I do remember, one is this one has a more of a fisheye effect. GoPro has this fisheye effect to get a wider image. They're known to have a really wide image, and to do that they have a camera where you get this fisheye effect and the edges of the screen look different than the center. And when you spin the camera around, I have to do it much more slowly with the black, otherwise it makes you, the images makes you a little bit more dizzy. There is definitely a difference between the black and the white. The white had less fisheye effect than this one. So now when I do my spins and I'm showing you the area I'm at, to give you a glimpse of the nature, the settings, whatever I'm at, I have to do it slower with the black. There was a third difference, and I don't remember what it was. But in general, the 7 Black is much better because you can change so many more settings. So this is just the basic camera, and most of the time, you know, some YouTubers will hold the camera and talk to it just like this. I don't. I use a selfie stick. This was my preferred selfie stick, and I really, really liked it. And in some ways, I still like it better than my new one, but I wanted a longer one. So the one I use is being used in recording this video because I add an adapter to the bottom of it for a tripod. So I can turn a tripod into a selfie stick. It has a screw hole here, so you can get these little tripods and then set it up as a tripod. So to connect it, you get a frame. I think GoPro gives you a frame, but I bought these others. I like these really well. They're cheap, but I like them. I have broke one. Actually, I think this is a different one. This is plastic. I have another one that's a little bit more like between rubber and plastic. So this is not my go-to casing. Okay, so you put it in a casing, and it has the, you know, attachment, and then you attach it to your selfie stick. And if you have selfie sticks for like cameras and other things, they don't have these ends. They have screws, you know, like this. Well, you can get GoPro attachments to attach that, so you can use a GoPro on them. But I just get the GoPro selfie sticks. So I'll use a selfie stick in my hiking videos and what I call walk in the spirit videos. A walk in the spirit video is basically a hiking video. I walk through the forest and I preach and teach into the camera. Those are my walk in the spirit videos. So I take the selfie stick. Oh, I forgot something. So I'll show you what this here, right here, okay? I do not put this straight in. I use these cushions. A lot of people don't like the audio, especially in the older models of GoPro. Some people still complain about the audio, but I find the audio to be fine, and it's except in one situation, and I'll explain that in a bit. But I bought these. Several people on YouTube talked about these, and I ordered them. They're pretty cheap. If you get them in China, they're really cheap, like $2. But you can also get them on Amazon. So I got one on Amazon, so I get it right away, and then I bought some really cheap ones for replacements in China on like eBay. So this cuts the wind noise and really, really helps with the sound. So it just, there are microphones all over the place on the GoPro, and this, you know, will cover those microphones. And then you put it on. Basically, I use these wind protectors in all my videos except for my sitting down videos when I sit in the woods, which I call my table in the wilderness video. And like I was alluding to, I have changed my audio for that, and I will show you in a bit. So you just screw on the camera, and then I tilt it. And then I'm just walking around doing this with the camera pointed towards me. So that's how I do my hiking videos and my walk in the spirit videos. And I decided early on I was going to do the same method for both kinds of videos. So that way it becomes second nature, and I don't have two styles and I keep having to relearn them or, you know, adjust to the style. I just use the same thing for both. Now, most hiking videos, they do short videos. There's matter of fact, I can't find anybody besides myself who does a hike and will show you the whole video, the whole hike. Now, I don't think I show you all of it, but I like show you 99% of it. So, and this is what I do, okay? And then when I want to show different scenes, I do this spin around effect, so people can see all around me. Every once in a while, I will turn the camera around so people can see something without me in the shot blocking what I want to show them. So I do both, but I do notice when I do this, I have to be careful if the camera's too close to my face and I'm walking, this will pick up the breathing really bad. So that's something you need to know if you're considering doing similar things with just the microphone on the camera. It'll pick up your breathing when it's really close. You have to be careful. So usually if I'm going to walk and continue to show some kind of scene, I put it way out in front of me. So that's the basic selfie stick and camera use. Now I do another kind of video. Again, I call them a table in the wilderness video, where I take a chair out into the woods and I sit down and I do a teaching. And this is just a new change, a very, very new change. And I was, in the past, again, I put a tripod that you can screw into these, okay? And I'll show that in a bit. But I've chosen to do something different, okay? Because I go out and I do these teaching videos, and the camera's a little further away. And if there's wind, there's been issues. So I went and bought a real, legitimate tripod. This was like either only $25 or $29. Some $25 or $29 on Amazon, and I love it. I've only used it like 3 times, but I love it. So you just click these open, and these drop down, so you can make this quite tall. And that was one of the problems. While I use a different, bought a different and longer selfie stick, my sitting videos, my table wilderness videos, I don't think was tall enough. I couldn't show, like if I'm sitting next to a stream, it was hard to get a shot of the stream behind me because it wasn't very tall. Well, this changes that. This makes it a lot taller. And GoPros are real light. They're not very heavy. So you can use pretty light equipment. And the warnings on this, you can't use like heavy cameras or anything on this. It has to be a light camera. So that's fine with the GoPro because these will tip over if you have a heavy camera on it. So as you can see, I have a different rig set up here. A different base, okay? Because, let me scoot over. I want different sound. GoPros, you can attach external microphones, but you need an adapter. Well, I have an adapter, and it's in here. I'm not going to pull it out, okay? To use other microphones on a GoPro, you have to have an adapter, and these bad boys are like $49, okay? They're expensive. There's no way around it. Now, I've heard some of the early models, like GoPro 2 to GoPro 3, you didn't need one of these. If you really want to go old school, you can skip the adapter and get one of those old GoPros. Have fun finding one. Some YouTubers still use it, I hear. So you got to put it in this new case. Well, you don't have to, but this is I found this case, YouTubers were talking about this like a year, 2 years ago, because it holds the adapter for you. Otherwise, it's like dangling below. It's not in anything, and this rig sets that all up for you. So this one opens a little differently and closes. There's a little notch here. You push this button kind of thing. You pull out a whole wall. You slide this in. Oh, before I do, I've got to show you something else, okay? So this has to plug in. And there's a door here you have to open up. But that's not going to fit in there. So you remove this door. No problem. GoPro has a way of taking care of that. Just clips off. Then you send it in. Put in the back door. Just slide it in. Alright, and then you plug this in. Now I do have two different microphones, external microphones, and for a couple of weeks I used, it was like a mini boom microphone, and it projected outward so that when you were facing you, it was pointing towards you, and it picked up the sound really, really good. But as I showed you, every once in a while I'll turn the camera around, and that microphone was horrible for that. It was just a muffled sound. So I just went back to using the microphone on the camera. But as I was sharing, when I'm doing my Table in the Wilderness videos, my sound has been not very good when I've been doing it in like windstorms. And so this is what I decided to do. I bought this before I bought the GoPro 7 Black because I was toying with the idea of using one on the 7 White. There's a plug-in for it, but it doesn't work. Adapter or no adapter. Can you use them on silver? I don't know. But this is a lavalier mic, a wired mic, and then I bought an extra set of cushions. This is like a dead cat cushion. Probably shouldn't have took that off. I don't want you to see this. And I'll put that on later. This even helps more with the wind, okay? There's a similar thing as this. So I just attach this on. I plug this in. And by the way, if you're going to use a lavalier mic, I did not know this. This is one of the reasons why I did have a GoPro 7 Black for a while, and I tested this on the GoPro 7 Black, and it didn't work. And that is because if you use a lavalier mic, you need this adapter, okay? I'll put the links in the description for this equipment if you're interested in any of it, and thus you might need to know what this is, because I don't know what it is, and I'll link to it in the description below. And it's required. Maybe this is for some kind of different system than the GoPro. Well, this will allows it to work with the GoPro. So I just plug this in into the adapter itself, which is down below. This is the other side. There's some different plug-ins. And that's how I do my videos with my table in the wilderness. I've done 2 of them this way, and I think it's amazing. This is nice and tall. I can get the creek below me if I want to do that. I think it's just better in general for a better view for what I'm trying to do out in the wilderness, to get what's behind me better rather than looking up. It can look down or even, and it's better. And then the sound has just been great. I just love it. So that is what I use for recording videos, and I'm going to switch over to the GoPro 7 Black so you can see my GoPro 7 White, and we can finish this up. Before I go, I want to show you that this rig also has a bubble level. It's fairly handy, but since you can move the rig around, it's not directly connected to the position of the camera. So it's only slightly helpful, but it gives you a start. And then I can adjust the, left and right, front and back, by adjusting the legs, by making them shorter or longer. All right, this is the GoPro 7 White. This is that screw-on attachment I was talking about to turn a selfie stick into a tripod. And I bought this one, and it's really nice. It allows you to bend and things. My original idea, which I've never used it for, is if I'm out in the woods, I can wrap it around a tree and do this kind of a thing, and you could turn the camera up, I've never used that, and when I just started to do my Table of the Wilderness videos, I said, oh, I could just use this as a tripod. And it works really well. I just don't think it's tall enough to do super good shots. Thus, I have the new tripod. So let's talk a little about 7 White. I've already talked really everything you need to know about it. It does a good job. It has a good quality. I used it primarily and only for like a year and a half before I got the GoPro 7 Black, maybe even more than a year and a half. So this is it. Let me pull it up. This cover is kind of rubberized. I like it better. It's less likely to crack if I drop it. So this is the GoPro 7 White. And now I use 2 cameras when I do my Table in the Wilderness video. I'll set this up as a tripod on a second angle. So when I'm doing my videos, when I'm editing, I go from one shot to the other. I primarily use the primary camera, the 7 Black, and the tall tripod, but to complement it, I'll do a different angle with a shorter angle as well with the GoPro 7 White, and it's just really nice touch with the videos, and I think it makes it more professional. Again, I've only done 2 of those, but I really like how it's going. So this is what I use for my videos, and I had a long time also finding what settings I use on the GoPro 7 Black. Again, you don't have so many settings here. You just choose which size you want the video to be, and that's it. You can't choose lighter, darker, shades of light, and that kind of stuff. And then I found a web page that talked about, because lighting is always an issue for GoPro. So I found an explanation of all the settings and which settings will allow you to have more light. And because I'm in the woods a lot, covering in trees, and a lot of people don't do that, and I couldn't find the setting I liked, because I also want to do as less amount of editing as possible to make my videos, so I can just pump them out without spending a lot of time editing. Editing itself takes a lot of time, 2 or 3 times longer than recording a video. So I didn't want to add to that time by monkeying around with the colors. So I actually finally found the settings I like for the GoPro 7 Black in the woods. So if you want to do hiking videos, my settings would probably be helpful to you. I'll list them in the description. I don't have them memorized. So that's about it. I forget the name of the software I use. I think it's called Vid something. I'll put the name of it on the screen. I don't remember what it is. There are tutorial versions, test versions, and you can find those online, but they're very limited. So I got to know it really well. I like it. It's not super amazing, but I'm used to it and it does what I need to do. So that's what I use. And of course I use the YouTube stuff, like adding on links in the middle of the video when I point up to a corner. YouTube allows you to attach what they call cards. So I use cards in the YouTube studio to add other links to videos that I've made previously or even to someone else's video. So that's what I do. That's how I make videos. Hopefully this is helpful to some of you who want to know how I do that, or if you're interested in doing some of this kind of stuff yourself. Hopefully that helps you, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.